Do not give a range. Initially, I used to give that advice. Give a range between 10 to 50. Give a figure. How you have dealt with issues in the past is the best predictor of how you can be able to deal with issues in the future. It will be a job that you're being paid more than you're being paid now. Once helped one of my friends who told me he went to an interview. He was told, if we give you this role and then 3 months down the line, another role opens in the same organization but in a different branch, would you apply for it? He said yes, and that is how he lost that opportunity. To today's training session, where I will be taking you into the psychology of answering questions in an interview. And once you understand why these questions are being asked, then it becomes easy for you to answer and provide the right answer. The psychology of answering interview questions. Today, we're going to cover three main things. The first one, I will get you to understand the psychology of interview questions. And I think this is where most people don't get it right, because you think it's a matter of just Q&A. I go to an interview, they'll ask me some questions, I will answer, voila, they will give me the job. But once you understand the psychology, you will see how everything falls in place. Then the second thing that I'm going to cover today, I'll take you through the 5 common interview questions and how you can answer them using the psychology that we will have learned. Then towards the end, I will have a Q&A session, and I would like to ask you to stick in through the Q&A session, because that is where some of the light bulb might be going on for you. Someone will ask a question that you hadn't really considered, and probably that is the same challenge that you are facing. So you are in for a treat. I want to bring to your attention this quote from Jin Ron, where he said that don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. I like using the same quote or rewording it and say, things don't get easier, you get better. If you have ever gone to an interview and you felt, oh, that was the worst performance ever, I doubt if they will ever invite me for an interview again, or I will ever get a job. That is when you're feeling defeated. You're feeling this interview thing is very difficult. The bad news is that it is not going to change. It is going to be the same. But if you keep on practicing, I can tell you, you will get better. So don't wish it were easier, just wish you were better. And by the end of today's session, I can assure you, when it comes to interviews, you are going to be way better in terms of answering the questions. Our mission here at Career Point Solutions, or if I haven't said, I work with Career Point Solutions. I'm the founder of Career Point Solutions. And our mission is to make sure that we make you more employable and we increase your earning potential. And I can assure you, by the end of this session, you will be more employable. You will have increased your earning potential. You will be sure that when you go to your next interview or upcoming interviews, you will get that job. And probably it will be a job that you're being paid more than you're being paid now. Why is it important to understand the psychology behind the questions? This will allow you to prepare more effectively. By understanding the underlying motivation behind each question, you can tailor your response to highlight relevant skills and experiences. What is the purpose of these interview questions? Number one, why they are asking you this question is because they want to assess your suitability. Are you the right candidate for us? Are you the best person to take up this role? And they're going to make that decision based on how you answer some of these questions. They are gauging, the second thing, your communication skills, your problem-solving ability, and your culture fit. The only reason why you will be hired is because you have proved to them that, number one, you have communicated your value. You have clearly communicated to them that this is the value that I am bringing on board. This is why I'm good at my job. Then they will want to know, are you helping us solve our problems, or are you coming to be a problem yourself? And then, are you going to fit into this culture? Because some people would be the best candidate in terms of skills, in terms of communication. But if they join us, they will be frustrated. They will not have the best life because it is not the right culture fit. So that is the purpose of these questions. The number one question, 99.99%, when you go for an interview, chances of being asked this question as the first question is 99%. Yeah? Or what have I said? The chances of you being asked this question as the first question in an interview, tell us about yourself or tell me about yourself, it is 99.99%. And I can tell you most candidates mess up how they answer this question. So how do you answer? But before I tell you exactly how you answer, it is important for you to ask yourself, why is this question asked? It is being asked so that it can evaluate your communication skills, your personality, and your suitability for the role. So don't think they really, really want to know about you and where you come from and your family. That is not what they're interested in. As you answer that question, remember, it is an evaluation of your communication skills, your personality, and your suitability for the role. They want to see how do you communicate when you're put in an uncomfortable situation. Because an interview is not one of the most comfortable situations. It is that point where you are not so sure, you are somehow anxious, but how do you handle it? So, your understanding of how your skills, experience, and qualification relate to the job that you are applying for. The other thing they are also looking for, they are evaluating your understanding of how your skills, your experience, and qualification relate to the job that you're applying for. So when you're answering that question, know that they will be picking some signals to see, are you the best candidate for us? So that's the other thing that you also need to know. I want to give you some ground rules. There are some no-nos. What should you not say when answering this question? Your personal life, as I told you, they really, really don't want to know about you. Forget about family, your family and things to do your family. Religion, leave it. Politics, don't even go there. It can just be go south right from there. And the other thing I would say, always answer this question in form of a story. Most people are interested in listening to stories. Even you are more pulled into a story rather than some facts and figures. Yeah. So those would be the two ground rules that I would ask you to follow through. So what is the formula? This is a four-step formula on how you can answer this question. Tell me about yourself. The first bit is to introduce yourself. Just say, my name is Daniel Mutuku. Then from that, you go ahead and tell them your qualification and only relevant qualifications for that specific role. You might have done so many certifications, so many, maybe a degree, a diploma, a master's, but if it is not relevant to that job, please don't mention it. Then go ahead and talk about your experience in a narrow, short way. Again, relevant experience that is related to that job. And most people do very well in these three steps, but most people miss the fourth step. Are you the one who misses this fourth step? You need to connect the dots. I say connect the dots. What is connecting the dots? It is trying to relate how your experience, how your qualifications have actually built you up to be the perfect candidate for that position. Don't wait or assume that they will know what how your qualifications and skills fit to that position. Make sure that you go ahead and connect the dots for them. This is how you do it. Now, it might look as a very big chunk of text, but I will read it through and you will see how all these four parts fit into this formula. So if you ask, tell me about yourself, I would give you an example, and here I would say, my name is Daniel Mutuku. I am an MBA holder from the University of Nairobi. Currently, I am studying Arabic in the same institution. Now, please note, if I talk about my Arabic and I am applying for an Islamic banking kind of a role, then the Arabic is a relevant thing, and that is why I have mentioned it there. I would continue and say, I began my career at Equity Bank, where I was a credit officer. I later joined NCBA Bank, as a credit administrator officer and subsequently got promoted to be the credit manager. Currently, I am the credit manager in charge of hire purchase with a portfolio of about 250 million Kenya shillings. I have implemented a series of security procedures by introducing dual control functions, which were deemed 100% effective in administering credit control. I see that you are looking for someone who can manage credit risk, ensure compliance with regulators' requirements, and supervise a team of credit officers. From my previous position, I have done exactly that and succeeded in reducing bad debts, enhancing customer satisfaction, and improving staff performance. I believe that I have the skills, experience, and qualification that match your expectation. And I am confident that I can deliver excellent results if given this opportunity. Boom, mic drop. You can see I've highlighted, I've just introduced myself, I've talked about my qualification, I've talked about my experience, and then I have connected the dots for them. I have shown them this is my experience, this is how it makes me the best candidate for that job. You actually twist. Let me pull this closer. The secret is you have twisted the question from tell us about yourself to actually telling them why you are the best candidate for that position. Do you get it? So that is the first question. Tell us about yourself. The second question, one of the most common questions, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Already somebody had asked about that. So this is how you go about it. First, to understand why are they asking this question? They are assessing your self-awareness, how honest you are, and your suitability for the role. By the way, if you ever say you don't have any weaknesses, that's already a lie. We're all human. We have weaknesses, and that can kick you out of the job. And also, they will look at your strengths and weaknesses. Do they make you like the right fit for this position? So, how do you go about answering the question? When you talk about your strengths, highlight skills relevant to the job and provide examples. So, you say, this is my strength, this is how I used it, this is how it showcases. So, these are good, simple templates you can use. You say, one of my key strengths is the ability to, then you can mention a specific skill and say, as demonstrated in my role, where I give example of where you successfully used that strength. Now, when it comes to strength, it might not be much of a problem because we don't have a problem talking about our strengths. But when it comes to weaknesses, that is where the challenge is. Yeah. So when it comes to weaknesses, then this is the guideline. Choose a genuine weakness and explain steps taken to overcome or mitigate it. Do not just say, number one, it should be an honest, genuine weakness. Don't just try to give them a good weakness. You know, I've seen people who try to give the fake weakness and say, oh, I really work hard. Because the message you want to send is that my weakness is that I'm a workaholic, I will spend too much time at work, I will really do very good job for you. They will see through that lie. So have a genuine weakness that you have, and then what are the steps that you're taking to really mitigate it? In an example, you can say something like, I used to struggle with, mention the weakness, maybe being patient. It might be not being able to delegate or taking too much stuff, yeah. But I have been actively working on improving by what are some of the specific actions that you're taking to really take care of that weakness. In an example, you can say something like this. I used to struggle with time management, but I have been actively working on improving by implementing a few key strategies. In my previous role, I found myself occasionally overwhelmed with competing priorities and deadlines. Recognizing the importance of effective time management, I started using productivity tools such as time blocking and task prioritization to organize my work more effectively. Additionally, I enrolled in a time management workshop to gain practical skills and insights. As a result, I have significantly improved my ability to meet deadlines and maintained a more balanced workload. I continue to refine these strategies to ensure ongoing improvement in time management skills. Don't you see how beautiful that it is when you are able to really talk about your weakness and not as something that is holding you back, but something as you're working on to keep on improving, right? So let's look at question number 3. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? The reason why they ask that question to evaluate long-term commitment, ambition, and your career goals. And Mary Ndongo, this is where your question comes in. How do you talk about also your career goals? And I'll tell you this question might come in different ways. I once helped one of my friends who told me he went to an interview and he was told, if we give you this role and then 3 months down the line, another role opens in the same organization but in a different branch, would you apply for it? And he said yes, and that is how he lost that opportunity. Because yes, it is an opportunity within the organization, but that shows that he will not have settled even in his current job. He's already looking to go somewhere else. So they are looking at, can you really stay here with us long enough for us to teach you, to train you, and to have you on board? So how do you answer this question? Demonstrate alignment between your career goals and the company's objective. Do not feel as if it is bad to have your career goals. Yeah, Mary Dogo, you can have your career goals, but make sure that you align those career goals with the company's objectives. How can they see your goals helping them even achieve what they want? An example, you would say something like, in 5 years, I envision myself in a role where I have further developed my skills in, then you can talk a specific area in whatever you do, and I have made significant contribution to the company or the industry. Yeah. I am eager to grow within the company and take on additional responsibilities. So you're showing them that you're not in a hurry to go anywhere. You're going to stick with them. You're still going to draw to develop yourself, and they're going to benefit because you're going to contribute in that company, in that industry, and also you're looking at yourself having grown, even being given more responsibilities in your role. That is how you manage that. Question number 4. Describe a challenging situation at work and how you handled it. Yeah. Why do they ask this question? Basically, they are assessing your problem solving skills, your resilience, and your ability to navigate workplace challenges. Because I can assure you, there is no workplace that does not have its own challenges. And one of the key benefits that you're bringing in an organization is solving their problems. They are not very much interested in you. Not that you're the best person, but how do you come in and help them solve their problems? So if you showcase yourself as a problem solver, you have a much better chance of getting the job. So how do you answer this question? You can use the STAR method, whereby you highlight the situation, the task, ask, action, and the results that came. This is an easy structure that will help you be able to give the answer in a very precise manner without giving too many stories or things that are irrelevant. You can have it in this kind of framework. You can talk about, in my previous role, we faced, talk about the challenge. I took the initiative by, what is the action that you took? Leading to, talk about the positive outcome, and then this experience taught me the importance of, what are the lessons that you learned. So let me give you an example. You can say something like this. In my previous role, we faced a challenging situation where we had an unexpected tight project deadline. The client had requested an accelerated timeline, and our team needed to deliver high quality results within a significant shortened framework. I took the initiative by immediately convening a team meeting to assess the scope of the project, identify critical tasks, and allocated responsibilities based on team members' strengths. We also implemented a streamlined communication plan to ensure everyone was on the same page throughout the process. Through careful planning and collaboration, we were able to meet the challenging deadline and delivered the project successfully. The positive outcome was not only meeting the client's expectation, but also strengthening the cohesion and efficiency of our team under pressure. This experience taught me that the importance of adaptability, effective communication, and strategic planning in navigating unexpected challenges in the workplace. And with that, you are able to really showcase you are a problem solver. You had a challenging situation at work, but you are able to really work through it. And we can see, oh, this is someone who can come in. Actually, it is called sometimes behavioral interview questions, whereby the idea is how you have dealt with issues in the past is the best predictor of how you can be able to deal with issues in the future. And that is why they ask such questions. Question number 5. Why should we hire you? The reason why they are asking this question is to evaluate your confidence, self-awareness, and understanding of the company's need. Do you know what the company needs based on your own assessment? And how do you also come in and help them solve their problems? How confident are you? Are you self-aware of your strengths and the things that you're bringing on board? That is what they're trying to test. So how do you answer this question? The first thing is align your skills and experience with the specific requirements of the job. This would be a good framework to use. I believe in my talk about the specific skill makes me an ideal candidate for this role. In my previous position, I successfully talk about the related achievement that you had. And I am confident that I can bring valuable contributions to your team by then highlight some of your key strengths. And this would be a very good framework. I'll give you an example. It might be long, but it will make a lot of sense. So you can say something like this. Why should we hire you? I believe my strong project management and team leadership skills make me an ideal candidate for this role. In my previous position, I successfully led cross functional teams to deliver complex projects on time and within budget. For example, I spearheaded a project that resulted into a 20% increase in efficiency and another where we exceeded client expectations, leading to a 15% revenue growth. I am confident that I can bring valuable contributions to your team by leveraging my strategic thinking and problem solving abilities. My experience in talk about that industry or the field that you're in has equipped me with a deep understanding of the challenges and opportunities that your organization faces. Moreover, my proactive approach to identifying and implementing process improvement aligns with your company's commitment to innovation. I am excited about the opportunity to contribute my skills and experience to help drive success within your organization. My proven track record of delivering results and my passion for this industry makes me confident that I would be a valuable asset to your team. That might look as if it's a very long one. Yes, it is. But remember, you're trying to convince them why they should hire you. And the good thing is, when you write this down, you can read it over and over, practice it. But also, I want to caution you: don't try to cram it, because when you go to an interview and they see you reciting it, it will just sound fake. But you have the framework, you understand what is it that you want to communicate to them when you're talking about your ability to do that work and why they should hire you. Are we together? Hopefully we are. I have some additional tips for you. Number one, When you get to that interview, make sure you maintain eye contact and confident body language. It is said sometimes the messages that we send, over 70% are from our body language rather than the words that we use. Make sure you tailor your responses to the company's values and culture. You might be asked one question, different companies, but you will answer them differently so that you can fit to that company's values and culture. And finally, practice with a friend or a career coach to give you feedback. And that is why I do run interview, mock interview coaching, whereby I will take you through an interview session whereby I will ask you questions, you will answer, and then I'll give you feedback. Like you can add this, you can remove this. Here you did well. Here you need to remove this. So it is important for you to, even if you don't have the money to hire a coach like me, just a friend, tell them, hey, can we run a mock interview? And then you can give me feedback. The value that you can get for you to get to that interview, these are the services that we offer. We offer professional CV writing, which will help you get yourself into that interview. We also offer cover letter writing, or you get sample cover letters, LinkedIn profile guide. By the way, next week we'll be talking about LinkedIn. So if you're excited about LinkedIn, please make sure you show up here every Thursday live, 7:30. Next week is LinkedIn. And then we do also the mock interviews. If you want to take any of our CV writing services, you can send us your CV for a free review. And then once we do the review, we'll let you know how much it will cost. But on average, I can give you some of these figures. The charges for our basic package, which you get the CV and sample cover letters, will range between 1,000 to 3,000 Kenya shillings, or $10 to about $30. Or you can go for the advanced package where you get CV, professional CV, sample cover letters, LinkedIn profile guide, and interview coaching. And the cost again is between 3,000 Kenya shillings to 6,000, or you can get it at around $30 to $60. I want to show you that this works. This is a series of messages that took place last week, not last week, towards the end of last month. Yeah. So you can see this is someone say, I was asking her, good morning, did you receive, we received the payment and we started working on your CV. Then she said, I asked her, we sent the CV via email. Did you receive it? Yes, I received it. Then the next message is here. You can see she sent this message telling me, I sent my CV and cover letter after review that you did, and today I received this message. Thank you so much. So what was the message? Good morning, Anne. Following your application for the position of cashier at Clipneck Enterprise Limited, we are pleased to inform you that you have been shortlisted and you are hereby invited for an interview, one-on-one interview in our offices. And you can see it was Friday, 26th January. Yeah, end of last month. Yeah. And this is to show you that the CVs that we do, they will get you the interview. Another one here saying, hey, Daniel, thank you so much. I received my final copy of my CV. I'm really grateful for the good work you people are doing. And indeed, my initial CV was for the dustbin. I can't imagine how it came up structured so well and appealing to look at. I'm grateful. Stanley said, you have helped me secure a job in 2 weeks. I have no better words to say. Thank you so much. I knew you at the right time. I don't regret what I spent for the CV review. Kudos. So, yeah, it works. I have a special offer for you. If you want to take the advanced package, you can go ahead and make the payment right now of only 2,999. And this will give you the CV, cover letter, LinkedIn profile guide, and interview coaching. But if you have already done the CV for you and you feel like probably the problem for me is not the CV, I need to go to the next level of my career, I invite you to join our Career Jumpstart Coaching Program. This program will help you get to the next level of your career. Now, you have a chance to have a one-on-one call with me. We will help you get clarity in your career goal, and we also help you create a plan on how to achieve it. We'll help you identify and overcome any obstacles that might be holding you back. We'll help you develop a strategy for networking and building professional relationships, increasing your awareness and understanding of your strengths and areas that you need to improve. And then we have the one-on-one coaching call where we provide you with accountability, support to help you stay motivated and on track. So the special offer that we have for you tonight is if you just pay for 4,999, probably this will go for about 10,000. You get the Career Jumpstart Coaching Program, you get CV writing, the sample cover letters, LinkedIn profile guide, and interview coaching. Join us on WhatsApp. You can also join us on Telegram, careerpoint.co.ke/Telegram. Both of these, you need to go to the browser. Just type it and then it will redirect you. Is that okay? Next week, we're talking about LinkedIn. Yeah. How do you use LinkedIn to get these jobs? That will be our focus for next week. And I'm now open to questions. What is that one thing that can make you leave the company in 1 month after joining us? Okay. They want to see what are your limits? What are your values? What is it that you can't really do? Yeah. And if you say something to do with integrity, something to do with your values, something to do with the company values and culture, that would work well for you. How much do you need in terms of remuneration? So go watch this video. It's just 13 minutes about the best way to answer that question. You see this video here. When you just search salary negotiation, there's this video here saying salary. Yeah, watch it. It will be of benefit. But because you're here now, why not give you some answers? Number one, I want you to don't let that question come from you. Always, when it comes about salary, let it come from the other party. When it comes, do not give a range. Initially, I used to give that advice. Give a range between 10 to 50 or 40 to 50 or 60 to 70, depending where you are and what is the currency. Yeah? Give a figure. You know clearly what you need or how much maybe the industry range is in that specific role. So tell them, I'll be happy if I'm paid 100,000. But I'm open to negotiation. I also wanted to know from your end, what had you budgeted for this position? So you have answered the question so that, and then open it up that you're open to negotiation. And also you're asking the question, what the budget was. Do not really feel afraid of discussing figures and don't be very anxious and feel as if you're going to offend anyone when you're talking about the money. Yeah. So probably that would be the high level answer, but I want you to go watch that video in details. Yeah. Have you ever faced a setback? How did you handle it? Similar to how did you deal with a challenging situation? So yes, we have all faced setback. A bit 2 or 3 more stories at the back of your mind, yeah? So that when these questions come, you can easily pick a scenario. What is a setback? What is a challenge that you faced? What did you learn from it? Still use the STAR method or SAR. What was the situation? What was the task at hand? What specific actions did you take? And what was the result that came out? Why are you going for a lower position than the one you held earlier? Okay, there might be several reasons, but here I would say, I want you to be very honest. Sometimes we go for lower position because probably our job ended. You are declared redundant. You don't have a job. So at that particular point, you have to take another job. Sometimes you might give up a big position because of your values and your integrity. You would say, I wouldn't do such a thing. It's better for the job to go and I maintain my integrity. It might be so many reasons, but I want you to think about how honest can you be when you're giving that answer, but at the same time, showcase your value, showcase what you stand for and how the company are going to benefit from such a decision that you had made earlier. Is that okay? Thank you very much. I can see, Chilobo, you're saying you have already paid. Thank you. We will keep in touch. What would you say is your greatest takeaway? What is the one question that you just learned how to answer and probably you have been doing the opposite and shooting yourself in the foot over and over? What is that question? Let me know in the chat. I will be reading them in the next 3 to 2 minutes and we can call it a day. Esther, of course, you have said what your takeaway was. What are your weaknesses? You have learned how to answer the question, what are your weaknesses? And now I'm sure you'll do a much better job in your next interview. Tell about yourself, You have learned how to answer that question. Tell me about yourself. Remember the 4 steps, just the introduction, then your qualification, your experience, and then connect the dot of them. How does your experience, qualification, and experience build you up to be the right candidate for this position? Zainab, thank you very much. Faith K, you're saying be honest, realistic, align your goals to the organization's goals and objectives. Oh, at least some people got something, yeah? You know, this really also boosts myself. I make feel good about myself that I didn't just waste a whole hour talking here. Something, people got something from it. And especially Team YouTube. I would like everybody to go to YouTube, follow, and make sure you subscribe. By the way, when you subscribe on YouTube, that is one way that you support me. I know I bring these trainings here every Thursday, 100% for free. And this is something that you would probably have paid somewhere for these services. But just for you to support me and to keep me going, subscribe to the channel. By the way, I don't know how many people are here with me live. If we can have each one, just subscribe. If you're on LinkedIn, please go to YouTube. Just search Daniel Mutuku, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube, search Daniel Mutuku, subscribe. It will mean a lot to me. So that's one way that you can support me to keep on bringing this value every Thursday, 100% free. Okay, where are we? To be honest, objectives. Catherine, you say I learned a lot. I need a job, so we'll be contacting you to fix my CV. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, if we have the number now international, you can reach me out on WhatsApp. It's easier that way. Personally, I am shy, but I will try to maintain eye contact. Yeah, by the way, when it comes to eye contact, it does not mean just look them in the eye throughout like this, yeah? Just have an occasional time where you look into the eye. Sometimes it might not be the eye, just one part of their face, yeah? Maybe the forehead, maybe the nose. But of course, don't look as if you're staring and fixated on that one point. The nose, the forehead, the mouth, the lips, or whatever, but once in a while, yeah? Even if you're shy, you can be able to pull that out. Yes, Dongo answering interview answers should not be stories. Yes, you should have them in a story format, but not just stories, endless stories without a structure, or you don't know why you're just answering them. Is that okay?